my mother grew up and married. And like so many other women during World War II, she took a job with the government that never would have been offered if we hadn't entered the war. My dad was drafted, was made into a medic, and he joined all of the other men marching off to fight the encroaching darkness that was covering the world. Sue, I loved my job. Me, who wasn't that good in math, they taught me to read blueprints and use a micrometer. I loved my work. Ma, what's a micrometer? So it's this little gadget that you use to make fine measurements. We were checking the blueprints because they were building battleships at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. I loved my work. But the war ended, and the women received their marching orders. Back to the house, back to taking care of their families full time, back to knowing their place, and being quiet. It's an era that I like to call the Great Silence. It was a time when doctors began prescribing little pills to keep our mothers calm, to contain their emotions, to shut them up. Speaking of shutting up, my mother married my father. A man of few words. Solly, I know you just got home from work. Say something, talk to the kids. Sue, put your book down, talk to your brothers and your dad. Joel, Richie, put the comic books down. Talk to your father and your sister. Ma, I don't want to talk to my brothers. I see them all the time. Why should I do that? And why should I talk to you, Dad? You never listen to me and talk back. Ida, are you in one of your moods? Why don't you take a pill? I don't need a pill, Sol. I need you to talk. You come home from work, I know you're tired, but you gotta hide behind the newspaper, read about your beloved Dodgers? Look at your beloved children, say something, and talk to me, your beloved wife. Say something. Be quiet, Ida. You're too emotional, Ida. Shut up. My dad, a Jewish John Wayne. Without the horse and the height and the guns. His monosyllabic responses to conversation could rival any of John Wayne's one-liners in the movies, such as, talk low, talk slow, but don't say too much. My mom refused to be silent. I can see her now. She's holding court at the annual Cousins Club picnic in Alley Pond Park in Bayside, Queens. It's 1958, and it's summertime, and the sun is streaming through the oak trees. The cousins are gathered around in a semicircle, their cigarette smoke competing with the smoke from the barbecue. My mom is at the epicenter, and laughter is erupting. I must have been, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. I said to my mom, Ma, if we can't find a Shabbos goy to light the stove tomorrow morning, is it so bad? Why don't we ask God if it's okay one time? We light it ourselves. After all, he won't be paying any attention like you say he doesn't pay attention when the rent is due and you pray to him to help you when we move in the middle of the night because he hasn't helped. So my ma says to me, Ida, Chaylia, don't take God's name in vain. That's a shanda, it's a shame. And I said, Ma, you always take God's name in vain. Just the other day we ran out of the butcher shop and you turned around and said, you goddamn, you bastard, you mamza, you cheated me again. The cousins laugh with my mother, and she leaves out how the story really ends, and I wouldn't know for years what happened at the end of that tale. Line. My mom was always having me help with my little brother Richie. He was 3 years younger than me. Sue, come on in. I'm going to feed Richie, and I want you to watch so you can do it too. Here, watch. Bzzz. Here comes the airplane, Richie, open up. Good boy. Here, you do it. I got to go to the kitchen. I'll be right back. The spoon is piled high with Gerber baby food. I think I'm supposed to be an airplane. Brr, brr. I could barely rev it up. Brr. Richie, open your mouth, Richie, here's the food. I smush the spoon into my brother's tightly closed lips. The food dribbles down to his chin, to his neck, and onto his shirt, and he starts to cry. I start to melt down too. Ma, Richie won't let me feed him. Suddenly, my mom has swooped in. She has my brother in one arm, the spoon in the other, and I swear there's a third hand pulling me closer to her to comfort me as I'm melting down. Line. I know my mom is Superwoman because she takes care of all our little and big hurts as me and my two brothers lurch along the winding path of growing up. Mom, Joel pulled my ponytail again. Make him stop. Joel, go outside and play with your friend Roger and leave your sister alone. Mom, Richie tore up my drawing. Make him stop. Suzanne Renee, stop pushing your brother on the couch. He's going to fall off. You go out and play and leave your brother alone with his friend Roger. Ma, you always take his side because Richie's younger than me. No, I don't. Now you stop pouting and go outside. Mom, Joel Lawrence, what did you do now to make your sister cry? Enough. I need a cup of coffee and a cigarette. Just leave me alone for 10 minutes. All of you go out and play. But Mommy, Joel, not now, Suzanne Renee. But Mommy, not now, Richard Bruce. But Mom, not now, Joel Lawrence. Sue, I'm going to lay down. I think I'm getting a migraine. Mom, are you okay? Can I do anything? No, Sue, just play quietly with Richie. I'll be out in a little while. Sometimes my mom would just disappear for a few hours into her room and shut the door. Mom, are you okay? Yeah, Sue, I'm just having one of my blue days. Take the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches out of the fridge, and when you pour the milk for Richie, be careful because the bottle's really kind of slippery. Okay, Mom. Line.
Mom, why are you crying?
Mom, why are you crying? Mom, why are you sad? Mom, why did you hang up the phone like that and yell at Grandma? My mother's rages would come quickly and go quickly. God damn it, Joel, you will not speak like that to me. Go to your room and leave me alone. A few minutes later, maybe a half hour. Joel, I'm sorry I yelled at you again. Sue, Richie, I'm sorry I scared you when I yelled at Grandma again. Anyway. Goddamn bastard! You and your verstunkene son, Mary. The next time he tries to hit Joel, I'm going to go upstairs and... Ma, why do you and Mary fight so much? Is it because she's Italian? No, Sue, I love Mary. We're like sisters. You know, we grew up together in Williamsburg. She speaks a little Yiddish to me. I speak a little Italian to her. We fight. We make up. Mary gets into her moods, you know. She lost a child long ago. What's that mean, Mom, lose a child? We'll talk about that when you're older. Come, in the kitchen, we'll go make an apple cake and we'll bring it upstairs so Mary can have it with her husband Tony and her son Larry. Ma, how can you be so mad one minute and then want to bake her a cake the next? Well, Sue, if there's anything I learned growing up, it was not to stay mad for too long. But then I entered my arrogant adolescence. Mom, why do I have to stay at, whoops, sorry. But then I entered my arrogant adolescence. Mom, how come you get to say goddamn son of a bitch and I can't say it? Sue, you will not talk like that in front of me. I am your mother. Go to your room. Mom, how come you're always so mad at Grandma? Can't you treat her nicer? You're always yelling at her. And Mom, how come I have to go in early, 8 o'clock at night in the summertime, and all my friends are still out? I don't have to answer to you. I'm your mother. Go to your room and be quiet. Being quiet was the penalty of hell. Being frozen out of my mom's attention, that was the worst. And she should know, because her mother was a master at it. Mine. I don't remember when I began learning my mother's history, how she grew up in a home of fierce love and sudden angry outbursts from my grandmother, a slap, a thrown object, or that icy curtain of silence that would fall between them when my grandmother was angry for some unknown reason. She wouldn't talk to my mother for hours, a day. The two of them alone in the apartment. Once, 3 weeks. Not a word. Today we call it mental illness, PTSD. But my beloved grandmother? Silent? Rageful? Violent? I can hear my grandmother now. Susie, mein so Rivka, Suzanne Renee. You know who you're named for? My sisters who died in the Holocaust. Shah, we don't talk about our business, not to anyone, especially not to strangers. Don't say such things, and not to the goyim. Line.
My mom had good stories too.
My mom had good stories too. Sue, did I ever tell you how much I loved roller skating? I would stay out in the streets of Williamsburg and play with the boys, and I was better than any of them at jumping the sewers and missing the potholes. I would fly on my skates. I loved it. But then I met your dad. And he didn't skate. But he could do a mean Lindy hop. But he was so jealous of my time with my other friends, so for me, no more skating with the fellas. Line. Sometimes I wish I had never married. But Mom, you wouldn't have had me, and Richie, and Joel. I know, Sue, but sometimes. Line. Your dad had a more stable life growing up than I did, Sue. His father, Grandpa, was a waiter full-time. But me and Ma, we depended on her tiny little paycheck from the bakery where she worked 10, 11 hours at a time on her feet all day. And when I was about 7 or 8, I started working at the Helena Rubinstein factory. It was unbelievable. They had me in that room pushing lipsticks into little tubes. By the second day, Sue, my thumbs were bleeding. So what did they do? They put me in the powder room. I couldn't breathe. Powder on my hair, powder up my nose, coughing all the time. God only knows what it did to my lungs. You know I love my Tarryton, Sue. So Grandma, she was so wonderful. She said, Ida, Chaylia, my darling daughter, you don't work there no more. I spit on that verstunkene factory and that verstunkene hoity-toity Helena Rubinstein. She doesn't even pay a living wage, not even to the poor Jews, and she's Jewish too. So you'll quit and we'll manage. And you know, Sue, manage we did. Line.
Your grandma took me to the table.
Grandma would take me, hang on. She would take me to her Russian tea rooms. I would go with her, and it would be filled, real Russian tea rooms, not like the hoity-toity places you have up in New York, in the Upper East Side. Real cafes with real Russians and Polish people and Germans, all speaking a babble of languages. But they all spoke Yiddish, arguing about life and politics, and sometimes they burst into poetry. Did you know your grandmother wrote poetry, and she was published in the Jewish Daily Forward? It was amazing, Sue. And she would sometimes save money and take us to the theater, the Yiddish theater. And her best friend, what was his name? No, it's the wrong line, sorry.
Her best friend.
Yeah, her best friend, Mr. Goldfarb, he would save up and take us to the theater with him, and he would sit and watch me and Grandma, because his pleasure came from seeing us watching the show. But Ma, you had a hard life. But it wasn't that hard, Sue. I had my roller skating, and when Grandma was in a good mood, we would walk together arm in arm in Prospect Park and bring sandwiches, and we'd sit on the benches. And sometimes, if she had a nickel, we would buy some shave ice from the Italian shave ice man. It was a wonderful time. Sue, the phone is ringing. I'm going to finish here. I'll go in the kitchen and finish the dishes. You answer the phone. We'll talk some more. Hello? Grandma? Hi, Grandma. How are you? Grandma? Ma? Grandma sound... Hold on, Grandma. What's wrong, Sue? Give me the phone. Ma, was magst du? You scared the Kinder. Ma, who's talking about you now at the home? Which one of your roommates is spying on you? Ma, calm down. We can't move you again. Sally and I will be up on Saturday. We'll bring the kids. We'll work it out. Yeah, Ma, go into the kitchen and ask the staff, somebody, to make you a glass of tea. It'll be okay, Ma. Really? Okay. Bye. Sue, go get Joel's bongo drums. You know, he doesn't play with them. We bought him for his birthday. I've been practicing when you kids are in school. Come here. Richie, put your comic down. Come on, come on over here. Sue, put your hand here. Watch out my cigarette doesn't burn you. Richie, come here, one hand here. This is how the record goes. Happy donkey ticky-tacky, happy donkey ticky-tacky. We're going to have some fun. Come on. Going to have some fun.